everyone, I'm Maya Palacio for Media Maya, and today we're outside of Noah's Ark Feed and Supply, and we're just asking members of the community questions about the upcoming International Day of Recognizing Persons with Disabilities. Some of the questions are going to revolve around a 2006 census that asks questions and answers statistics, as well as some community questions about whether or not they know somebody or if they themselves have a hidden or invisible disability. Okay, first question. Do you think that Bermuda takes the treatment of mental illness and intellectual disabilities seriously? Why or why not?
Actually, not as much as so my brother's actually autistic, and I grew up where they actually didn't quite know what to do with him. So they actually shifted him, and they just kind of grouped everybody together. So whether you had a physical disability or a mental disability, they kind of just put you together. Where my brother just needed a little special extra treatment, whatever. We actually had to send him away when he was 13 because they just didn't quite have the right system for him, foundation, yeah.
Like when it came to education and sending them to schools and things like that, there was like nothing really in place.
They didn't quite understand autism at that time. So.
Can you say what year this was?
Sorry, what?
What year was this?
Oh, I was 13. 20 years ago?
20 years ago?
Yeah.
In the early 2000s then?
Yeah.
In some cases, yes, and in some cases, no, because I feel like it isn't talked about enough.
No, they don't, because they don't realize how widespread it is. It's a lot of people who, and especially now with the pandemic, it's really showing that people are really, what you would say, going off. Yeah, like, in other words, they don't have no coping skills, and they're getting angry. They don't know how to treat people. They're talking loud. They just have no way to express how they really feel,
A lot of people that I was talking to on my social media don't see actually depression or anxiety as being, a hidden or invisible disability, but those are like symptoms that once they increase can become even something more serious. But do you think that people should be more aware that, having depression and anxiety is another form of, the invisible and hidden disabilities?
Yeah, definitely. But most of those conditions also mature into something else. I have friends who have suffered, and they've ended up being like schizophrenic and everything from starting off with things that you said, oh, they're just playing around, or they just got a problem and it's temporary. But I've watched it mushroom into some other ailments,
I don't. Just because there's so many people that you see them on social media and they're trying to reach out and they're like, oh, I've reached out to this organization and that, and this hasn't actually improved or changed anything about their life. And they're still seeking help and they don't know where to go from there.
According to a 2006 survey census, what percentage of black people in Bermuda have a disability? Is it A, 30%, B, 65%, C, 80%, or D, 45%?
D.
That's hard. Because people, like you said, people have disabilities that you don't know about. I would say 45%.
I'd say 30%.
It was actually B, 65% of the disabled community in the 2006 census was black. It's actually B, 65%.
Oh, wow.
It is actually B, 65%.
For real? 65%?
65%, yeah.
Wow.
According to the same census, what was the average yearly income of persons with disabilities? Was it A, $52,000, B, $25,000, C, $32,000, or D, $45,000?
The second one, B.
I want to say B.
45.
I'm going to say C.
You are correct. 32,000. Can you define what a hidden or invisible disability is?
Yeah, absolutely. My brother's autistic, so if you look at him, you talk to him, you just kind of think he's weird, but don't actually understand that he is very socially anxious. He doesn't like large crowds. He doesn't like people. He doesn't actually know how to properly engage you all the time. So it's taken years and years of repetition and working with him to get to the point where he actually is kind of unnoticeable.
I would define a hidden disability as something that affects people's day-to-day life that you wouldn't normally see just by looking at them.
I would say it's a disability that you can't physically see, but a person is going through internally and with their mental and it should be treated the same as a regular disability. Some people's may vary, and some people's internal disabilities become external disabilities.
Yeah. If you're willing to share, do you have a hidden disability, or do you know someone who does?
My cousin, and also my grandpa used to be deaf.
Well, yeah, you can see that I wear glasses. I was born nearsighted, so that's been a handicap for me for years, you know.
What's been like the most challenging experiences for that?
Dealing with people and having them understand. They really understand my plight. You know, they never did, so that's where it stands.
I mean, what can you tell to even me to help me understand your plight?
I think people say it's the saying now that they say to be woke, but people are not actually woke because they don't put themselves in other people's shoes, you know, as to deal with, for instance, disabilities. Like I figure I have a disability because if you take away my glasses, that's it, you know. But I think people have to be conscious of other people and how they have to live with whatever disabilities they do have.